Humans are social creatures. It is an essential part of our survival and thus has been ingrained deep into our psychology. This prompts us to naturally crave social connections, the relationships we form with those around us. This includes our friends, family, co workers, neighbors, classmates, etc. Social connections are very vital to our health. We typically depend on those around us to thrive and live happy lives. It could even be said that social connections have a much larger effect on mortality rates than other things such as diet, exercise, or bad habits like smoking. Being alone can literally kill us if we're not careful enough. Social connections are very vital in allowing us to work together and collaborate. In some way, shape, or form, you will be interacting with someone and will need to know how to work with them. That is what allows us to come together to formulate new ideas and put those ideas into action. It's what has fueled human civilization. We can see this often in certain jobs. Effective interactions and connections, such as those in the form of networking, help drive success. Having poor social connections can contribute to demotivation, which can lead to poor performance. There was a study conducted to gauge the beneficiality of social connections in regard to performance in the workplace. The study explored how the effects of social connections and the workers' overall ability varied with the strength of managerial incentives. They combined the data from individual workers' productivity and conducted an experiment in which they engineered an exogenous change in those previously mentioned managerial incentives. And these changes ranged from fixed wages to bonuses based on the productivity observed. They basically screwed with the person's pay based on how active they were to see what it would do. It was found that managers who were paid fixed wages favored those they were socially connected with, regardless of the worker's ability, but managers paid performance bonuses favored those with higher ability, regardless if they were socially connected to the worker or not. And while it seems that social connections increased the performance of connected workers, favoring connected workers wasn't too great for the firm's performance. Today's society seems to place an unhealthy emphasis on independence. This in turn undervalues social connections. There seems to be an upcoming trend of people wanting to be alone, not wanting to rely on others, a survival of the fittest mentality, so to speak. Some will willingly isolate themselves to try and better themselves, but this type of mentality is really not good for our health at all. It can easily result in intense feelings of loneliness, depression, anxiety, etc. Now, I'm not saying that alone time is bad. Having some time to yourself is important and can certainly be helpful, but that's only in moderation. Referring back to what I said earlier about social connections being vital to our health, and how it could affect mortality rates more than other stuff, there seems to be this mention of issues like diet, exercise, or smoking feeling more tangible. Because of this, people often place more emphasis on these issues when discussing health, because they're things that can be dealt with physically, whereas social connections aren't physical, they're mental, emotional, and invisible. However, they're equally as important for our health. There's this idea of a survival mode that our minds go into with regard to poor social connections or isolation. Our minds crave connections, people, experiences, and interactions, and when our minds are deprived of that, all hell breaks loose. It's no secret the amount of stress the body goes through when dealing with isolation. Establishing and maintaining social connections can help a whole lot if you suffer from anxiety or depression. It's been reported that when those who suffer from anxiety or depression decide to hang out with trusted individuals, their feelings of anxiety or depression lessened, and they felt more at ease, even though they could have isolated themselves, further perpetuating those horrible feelings. Overall, it seems more and more apparent just how crucial social connections are to our health and longevity. The easy accessibility to technology now may also be hindering social connections. Most people tend to rely on their phones for a quick way to gather information, but this reliance may be influencing social and mental well-being negatively. We get so caught up on our phones that we often forget to talk to other people in real life. There was a study that hypothesized that turning to technology for information may lead people into feeling less socially connected. This study asked the participants to identify an unfamiliar building and to fulfill this either with or without their smartphones. It was found that even though those with smartphones were able to identify said building easier, it left them feeling socially disconnected, as opposed to those who didn't use their smartphones, who felt more fulfilled. Even though identifying the building quickly improved the mood of those with phones, it was quickly diminished by the loss of social connection. This leads to the question of whether or not technology may be unbeneficial when supplementing social interactions, since this reliance may make people feel as though the need to rely on each other isn't needed. So if there's anything you take from this video, go hang out with your friends, grab a coffee with them or something, do whatever, have some fun, because social connections are essential for you, me, and everybody else. Thanks for watching. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you want to. Check out this other video I made. Join my Discord server. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram. If you'd like to help me translate this video's subtitles, go fill out the form in the description below. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.